Good morning and welcome to Waking Up with Don. And this morning we're waking up to the great advice of Dr. Nicole Eisenbrown, who is a urologist, but you're also dual board certified, aren't you?
My original certification, I'm board certified in urology, but I also am board certified in female pelvic medicine and reconstructive surgery, which is a really long title, but basically it's for urologists and gynecologists who dedicate their practice to female pelvic health.
And what are some of the, and I'm sure that's hard to fit on a business card, but, but what are some of the more common things that you see with your patients?
Well,
and what should women be looking out for, I guess is my question.
Well, 90% of my practice is female, so I deal with a lot of female issues. Incontinence is probably one of the biggest things that I deal with, and there's all different types of incontinence, but I do everything that there is available to treat it. Also prolapse. Women are designed to squeeze out bowling balls, so
otherwise known as babies.
As babies. So as we do that, parts of us get a little looser and things can fall down. So bladders falling down is a real common thing that people come in with their bladders falling down. But anything there can fall down. The rectum can lean forward, the uterus can fall down, the apex of the vagina can fall down. So women don't like that, so we can fix that. Or incontinence is a big area too.
Yeah, you know, is there anything women can do? I know, say you're a young mother. I mean, are there like exercises? Is there any kind of wellness type thing that you can pay more attention to avoid those types of conditions?
Well, strength of the pelvic floor is the key to preventing all of that. There are certain things you can't help, obviously genetics and gravity and aging and the number of pregnancies, et cetera, but Kegel exercises really do help. So if you start them early and you do them regularly, you can at least delay when you would develop incontinence or prolapse. Kegel exercises, most people have heard of them, most people don't do them correctly. But you would focus on, you want me to explain how to do it? Might as well.
Might as well. If we can do that in 1 minute.
Let's do them together.
We're going to do Kegels. As a matter of fact, I'm doing them now. No, not really.
Well, what you do is you squeeze the muscle you would normally use to cut off your urinary stream, hold that for 5 to 10 seconds, then release it. When you first start doing them, you shouldn't do more than 5 in a row, and then just do them throughout the day. The goal would be to do 40 or 50 of them a day in sets of 5 to 10.
Now, should everybody do that, or should it just be expectant moms or new moms? Or?
Any female who doesn't want to develop incontinence, it's going to be beneficial, but certainly women who are pregnant or have just had children, if you can strengthen those muscles afterwards, that will help. Studies have been done. If you take women who are postpartum and you put them in some pelvic floor rehabilitation, you will decrease the chance of incontinence.
You know, I would imagine that general fitness plays a big role in that as well, but we have to run off to a break right now in the local weather. But let's talk more about being fit and keeping your body in shape for that childbirth thing and all those other problems that can break out at ground zero. Women are so mysterious sometimes. You're watching Waking Up with Don, and we're going to your local weather, brought to you by the West Pittman Law Firm, westpittmanlawfirm.com. Welcome back to the show. I'm speaking with Dr. Nicole Eisenbrown, and we're talking about women's urology issues and general fitness. You had described some exercises that we could do or that women can do to stay in shape, because that's a very active area.
Yeah.
You know, childbearing years, there's a lot of action going on down there. You know, kids are popping out, all that stuff. Is there something women could do beside the exercise that you described to stay in shape? Does general fitness contribute to that? Like running, is running good or bad? I've heard mixed reviews about running.
Well,
Weight
running
training.
is a stress on the pelvis, so in a way it might contribute more towards incontinence, but I would never tell someone not to exercise because of that. I think the healthier you stay, the better you are with everything in life. But as far as incontinence goes, you know, we always do start with the simplest thing first, which is the Kegel exercise, which we just talked about. So I always recommend people do that. That doesn't work for everybody if you already have pretty significant incontinence, but it's a place to start. If that doesn't work, if you want to do it, I tell people give it about 6 weeks and see what you get with that. By the time people come to me, they've already exhausted that, and we need to go on to sort of more sophisticated things. The most important thing I have to do when someone comes in the office is differentiate what type of incontinence they have. Most people think because they leak urine, there's one cause and therefore one fix, and that's not true.
I had no idea there were different types of incontinence.
There are. The two most common that we deal with are stress incontinence, which has nothing to do with the stress in your life, but a physical pressure on the bladder. So if you leak with a cough, laugh, sneeze, exercise, and if someone leaks when they run or they do aerobics, that is called stress urinary incontinence, and that comes from weakness of the tissue and movement that occurs because of that. So when you cough, there's an internal pressure in the abdomen, pushes down, separates the bladder neck, and urine squirts out. That is fixed very well with the sling, which is very popular. So people will come in and say they want the surgery to fix their incontinence. If they have stress incontinence, the sling works very well.
What exactly is the sling? What is
The
that?
sling I think it's a really neat invention. I wish I had thought of it. But because the anatomy is moving, the support under the urethra is lost. And so what the sling does is literally just replicates that support. We do it through an incision about this big under the urethra. We put a little hammock underneath of it so that when a woman, once it scars in, and a woman coughs, laughs, sneeze, that bladder neck can't bounce down. We don't tighten the urethra or squish it. We just literally put support underneath of it.
So it's like a safety net.
Yeah,
so
and
to
it works
speak.
very well. 87% of people are completely dry 15 years after having it done. And that's as far as we have literature published, research data, but it works very well. People are very happy when they don't pee on themselves anymore.
Yeah, I would imagine so.
But that's not the
Yeah.
only type of incontinence. Probably a more common type of incontinence is urge urinary incontinence. And that's where...
What did you call it?
Urge urinary incontinence.
Urge, okay.
And they may not necessarily have a sense of urge beforehand, it's just the type, but if the bladder contracts at a time you don't want it to, urine will escape. And that's urge urinary incontinence. And that's treated completely different because that's the behavior of the bladder. The AUA, which is our governing board, has very good guidelines on how we're supposed to treat that. And the first thing we're supposed to do is exercises. So Kegel exercises help with that also. We can do more formalized pelvic floor rehabilitation, which we offer at our office. There's a whole slew of medications that are advertised on TV. And then there's some third line things.
If people suspect they may have a problem, where could they go to learn more about this? I mean, should they run to you? Should they go to their doctor? Should they?
Well, they can start out with their primary doctor. They can certainly come to me. I'm certainly happy to give them information. We do both things medically and surgically, and I'm more than happy to help people figure out what they've got and do things in the most conservative way possible.
Dr. Nicole Eisenbrown, we're so out of time, it's not funny,
I'm
but
so
thank
sorry.
you so much for coming on the show. And
My
getting us smart
pleasure.
on
Thank
this
you for
stuff.
having me.
Yeah, a little sensitive issue, but it's, somebody's got to talk about it. We might as well do it.
Might as
here.
well be me.
Might as well. Thanks again.
No problem. Thank you.
And we'll be right back after your Max Biz tip from Zenobia.
Hi, good morning. Welcome back to Waking Up with Don. I'm Zenobia Andrews, your business system strategist, and I'm excited to be bringing you your max out tip for today. We're going to be talking about what is your marketing strategy. We've already established that you want to be an entrepreneur, that you want to start your dream business, and today we're going to say, what is your marketing strategy? What you need to consider is, who's your client? Where do they live? What problem are you solving for them, right? Before you can even establish a marketing strategy. Some of the other questions that you should be asking yourself is, how am I going to market to them? Is it going to be through social media? Is it going to be through an advertising agency? Is it going to be through my website? What are some of those answers to those questions? I really want you to ponder those things. There's so many different routes that you can go into marketing your business to your customers, but you've got to know who that customer is, what they like, what they don't like, and then you've got to know, and this is good, who your competitors are. But you know what? I'm here to share with you today that there really are no competitors. This day and time, getting in the game is all about partnering with your competitors, doing joint venture partnerships, doing affiliate programs. What are they doing that you can partner with? I'm talking about your competitors. What are your competitors doing that you can partner with your services and their services, and you can combine together your two companies and do this amazing event or this amazing program. All right? I'm so excited to have shared with you your marketing strategy, your marketing max out tip for today. I'm Zenobia Andrews, your business system strategist. Listen, connect with me and I will connect with you. You can find me at www.zenoviaandrews.com. Facebook, Twitter, Zenobia Andrews, Max Out with Zenobia. Take care and let's continue waking up with Don.
Welcome back to Waking Up with Don. I've got David Powell, the Business Development Manager of Innovations Credit Union here in Panama City. David, thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for being had. You guys have a new program called Octane.
It's called Octane. You may see some billboards, you may see some television commercials, you may even hear some radio ads. You may see it on your Pandora. I see our Pandora ad all the time on my Pandora radio. Octane Business Solutions is what we're calling it. And we have bundled our free business checking account, and that's a free business checking account, Don.
Operative word, free.
Free for
which we all
all
love.
size businesses. So
Even little dinky ones like mine.
even little dinky businesses, even medium-sized and large businesses, free checking account for all businesses. Comes with free internet banking. And then it also comes with what we call a suite of business solutions that include our assistance in helping you with loans for real estate, commercial real estate. So if you have you want to buy an office or refinance an office, if you have investment property, so if you have an investment warehouse or an investment office space that you rent to other people, even if you have investments like apartment complexes or shopping centers, anything really for commercial purpose, we can generally make a loan to you for.
Or maybe a little local talk show on
maybe
TV.
even a talk show. So oftentimes we get requests for folks that have small businesses of all different sorts that just need maybe $5,000 or $10,000 for some equipment or to expand into another area of the building that they already are. If you need to buy a vehicle for a fleet, or if you just need a business credit card, those solutions are all included in this Octane package. And we also have partners that we can help you with credit card merchant service, and we can help you with payroll management for your employees if that's something you'd like to do. So we've bundled all these things together into a package we call Octane Business Solutions, and you can learn about that. You can go to our website, innovationsfcu.org. You can call us at 233-4400. Or go by one of our 6 locations in Bay County, and a branch manager or a financial service representative be glad to help you there. Or you could call me, David Powell, the business development manager at Innovations, or call any branch. They'll direct you to me and be glad to talk to any business about an account or a loan of any kind.
So basically, every service you would need from a bank, you can get from the credit union for your small business right at Innovations.
That's true. And very likely it's going to be a cost savings for you, considering that the checking account's free and the internet banking's free, which most financial institutions charge a fee for one or both of those things.
Yeah, I went to local banks and I priced out a business account actually, and most of them want $10 a month just for the privilege of keeping your money.
Right, and $10 doesn't seem like a lot, Don, but as you know, as a small business owner, those $10 fees over time, plus then you start charging $6.95 a month for internet banking or to pay your bills, and then you got to pay for checks, and then you got to do all these things. That stuff adds up over the course of the year. So our effort at Innovations is to try to just help that small business owner. If we can save them a couple $100 a year in bank charges, that's they could
That's
do
a couple
other things with
$100 on the other side of the ledger that you could be using for your small business. And I've described it as like being pecked to death by chickens, because every time you turn around is, there's another fee or expense. If you're running a small business, there's always something that pops up that you have to pay for.
So we try to make it very easy, and so I encourage any small business owner that's interested, stop by one of our branches. We'd be glad to tell you about Octane.
Now, David, you guys do all of this stuff at the credit union for small businesses, but you do that also as part of the community. You really are a community partner there at Innovations, aren't you?
We are. We enjoy that. We like being involved in the community. I sit on the board of the Beach Chamber of Commerce. I also sit on the board of the Bay Education Foundation. Our CEO, David Southall, is very involved in the American Heart Association. We have other employees that are involved in various boards and committees. And in fact, one thing I'd like to share is that the Bay Education Foundation has a big event coming up on April 4th called Arts Alive at Edgewater. And we take local high school students and teachers and they audition, and it's like a dinner theater show almost. Very nice event. Steak and lobster dinner, have some silent auction items and those kind of things. So if anybody's interested in Arts Alive, I would encourage them to go to the website, bayeducationfoundation.org, and find out more about that Arts Alive thing. It's a great event coming up in April.
Thank you, David Powell, for coming on the show. Welcome back to the show. I have Kenny Cuomo here from ADT Security to talk about the security of your home. Does everybody need an alarm, Kenny?
Well, You know, there's multiple benefits to having a security system. A lot of people think, well, gee, you know, what are the odds of me, you know, getting my house broken into? But the fact of the matter is, it's not just protecting your home from theft. The more important realization that happens much more frequently is actually a fire. You know, having a monitored smoke and heat detector is huge. We call them a smoke communicator. You know, the ones that you buy at Home Depot, the battery operated systems. If you have a fire, or you know,
it'll make noise.
It makes a little bit of noise, but the timeline between the incident actually happening and the smoldering, but between that time and when that system goes off, it's very dangerous. You know, and whereas when our system, if you have a monitored smoke and heat detector, I always call smoke and heat communicator, it actually communicates to the authorities to come out, the fire department to come out and take care of business.
There are a lot of different reasons that people have their homes alarmed. I know we did years ago when I have a son with autism, and he used to love going for walks. He would just walk out the door.
Right.
So we said, you know what? We need to know when these doors and windows open so we don't have an escapee on our hands.
Absolutely.
Now, he doesn't do that anymore, but it was nice to know, you know, when the door opened and when it closed. And you know, from there, you know, we didn't really use it for security, but I've understood that if you have an alarmed home and you have that sign in front, it may be a deterrent.
Absolutely, it's a huge deterrent because common sense, you know, if someone's typically a criminal will want to approach the weakest link, so to speak, or take on the easiest target. So by having a sign in the front yard, decals on the windows, they say, you know, maybe I ought to move on down the road and go hit on the easier targets, you know. But also now with the technology changes, that's really some huge benefits with regard to the systems because now that we have the ability to automate your home as part of our system. Meaning you can control your lights, you know, if you're coming home and you don't want to walk into a dark house, you can turn the light on. You can control your thermostat.
You can do it all from like your iPhone or an iPad or something.
Exactly, from a smartphone, from an iPad, from a computer, you have the ability to automate your home. Like, say you got young children, you want to know if they made it home safely from school. The system will communicate to you via your smartphone and give you an email, text message, letting you know, hey, the front door was just open. Okay, that looks like that could be my daughter. We also have the ability to do video surveillance where you can actually hit a button, look into your home and see your child in the house doing what they need to do. If you got the automated deadbolt feature, you can lock them in the house.
Wow. Let's talk more about that new technology on the other side of this break. You're watching Waking Up with Don, and I'm talking about home security with Kenny Como from ADT Security Systems. Welcome back to Waking Up with Don. We're talking about home security with Kenny Como from ADT Security. I would imagine technology has really, changed your business quite a bit in recent years. And it sounds like ADT is doing a lot more things than just alarming your doors now and windows.
Absolutely. It's catering to the mobile lifestyle. It's enabling you to better manage your household, your lifestyle, protecting your young ones, but also for the elderly too. We have a new division that also allows emergency management for medical services. So
if you have an elderly parent who may not be able to get to a phone, you can give them a little panic button or something.
Absolutely, absolutely. And it's, again, we're using technology to our benefit and consistently evolving and with the technology to better improve what we provide.
With our aging population, I would imagine that latter option would become more popular with people.
Absolutely.
You worry about your parents, and we don't always live near them anymore.
Exactly.
We're very mobile. People move around a lot for jobs, careers, schools, things like that. And my parents have lived in the same house for 50 years. I mean, they've been in the same place forever.
So it's an excellent application because a lot of the elderly want to maintain their independence, and so in doing so, they just want to stay and do what they normally have done, which is good and healthy for them. However, with the new technology, we can actually install a video surveillance system in the homes, and through your smartphone or your computer or iPad, you can actually check in on them to make sure they're okay without even seeing them. Hey, how's mom and dad doing? Let me just check in I don't necessarily want to call them right now, I don't have the time, but let me see how they're doing.
And
you know?
especially if you have a caregiver visiting the home, you want to be able to see how they're treating your parents and all
Absolutely.
that stuff. Yeah, sort of like a
Absolutely.
nanny cam, I guess. you call it.
Absolutely. Or a babysitter can
Yeah.
for young children. If you're out on a date, you know, enjoying life, you check in on your babysitter, make sure she's doing what she's supposed to be doing.
Now, what would be the ultimate in security systems? If I wanted my home to be fully covered for everything, what would I be looking at? Would I be looking at, you know, cameras? Would I be looking at alarms, or all the above?
I always tell people there's no two security systems exactly alike, and the reason is everyone has a different lifestyle, everyone has a different floor plan, everyone has different needs and wants and desires.
We're so out of time, it's not funny, but Kenny Como from ADT, thanks so much for coming on the show.
Thank
and we'll
you.
see you next time.